So, who thought I was making this kind of video, huh? Well, this one is kind of heavy. Hello everyone, Christopher here. I am making a response video because I have been in a controversy that pretty much destroyed my friendship with Faith and her friends. And I'm here to pretty much address everything that me and Faith argue in our Discord DMs. But before we start, the first thing I need to bring up is there are some trigger warnings that are not suitable for viewers. So if you don't want to hear them, please leave the video or skip to the timestamp you see now. Other than that, another thing I want to point out is do not harass anyone. No one is responsible for this controversy. The only one who is me and myself alone. So yeah, do not under any kind of malicious intent harass them. If you do, you're nothing more than a jerk. So, with all that being said, another thing I want to point out is that I am going to address every single thing that Faith addressed in our DMs. Even the tiniest little things that I will address. So, with all that being said, let's begin. The first thing I want to address first is some of the Discord stuff, since those seem to be much more lighter and much more softer than what we're going to jump into sooner in the video. Now, the first thing that she bring up is my interactions with her friends. Now, the reason towards this is because I feel more comfortable speaking towards women. But with that being said, I'm not saying this because of gross reasons and uncomfortable reasons. And trust me, we'll get into the uncomfortable moments soon. But I want to stay with this one because of what Faith said in our DMs. That being said, Faith did show me some screenshots of the DM that she showed me. So let's go over them right now. Now, the first screenshot was from Andrew, and he said that I asked him if he could, I'm gonna really put to this title, My Hero Academia character impression. Now, with that being said, the reason I bring this up is because he did not respond to me when I asked him. The same can be said with Star when I asked her to join my Supergirl comic dub, and she did not respond to me at all. Now, you can see why these two DMs did not go so well. It's because those two did not respond to me at all. They could just say, no, I'm sorry, and that's the beginning of it. That being said, Star did address this in Faith Discord server, and I saw what it was, but I forgot what it said. That being said, the third screenshot was from Mercia, where I talked to her about my cartoon project and if she would like to join, and she told me no. Now, for the reason for this one is because she has school and her students, which I totally understand. Okay, so the next one is pretty much a doozy for me, mainly because of this screenshot and the evidence that she showed me, and that being my official crushes on Momo and Otaku. They bring this up in the voice message.
I found this out because my brain remembers you crushing on Momo and Otaku, who are teens. And what you are? You were 19 when you posted that. They're like 55-16 when it happened. You could have waited unless there's official time skip.
Now, this one was very tough for me because I had to research on everywhere to find anything official with Momo and Otaku's age. And luckily I did find some resource of their age on their wiki, and let me tell you, it's pretty much confusing. The first is their first appearance, which is 15 years old. Next is their pre-time skip, which is 16 years old, and the current timeline is 24 years old. Now, the reason that this is confusing is because Faith brings up that Momo and Otaku are 15 years old. However, she brings up their first appearance age, not their current age. I don't know why she didn't bring up their current age. My best guess is that she knows about this from the anime, and that's pretty much it. That being said, she did bring up my age from last year. She said that I was 19 last year, so she could be right, but that could also mean that Momo and Otaku would be somewhere around 23 years old, but that was in 2022 when I was 19 years old. Overall, Faith thinks that Otaku and Momo are too young for me, but due to the research I found, it seemed more than likely that they are older than me, but I'm pretty much rambling about this too much. So let's just say that the whole age limit thing is too confusing, and let's move on to the actual reason why I got myself into this mess. Alright, we're in this part of the video now, and I want to give you all this fair warning. If you don't want to hear what I'm about to say, please skip to this timestamp you see right now. Other than that, now, as for the real reason why I'm making this video, the main reason why I got into this whole situation to begin with is because of what happened last night on June 5th. I was on DeviantArt and I favorited one of Faith's artworks. But little did I realize that Faith was somehow active too. And when Faith checked out my favorite page, she found many of NSFW on my favorite page. And some of them have minors. I'm gonna say this right now, yes, I have been keeping them for a long while. And this is where my worst downfall basically started. Not too long after she saw it, she immediately tells her friends about this, and that's where I got not only banned from their servers, but also blocked me. Keep in mind that I did not know this. I did not know any of this will happen. I started to feel worried, and once tomorrow morning came, I told Faith about this, and that's where she bombarded me with so many allegations. I tried my best to tell her that I was sorry, but that sadly did not happen. I'll explain more, but I still need to finish this part first, so let's get them over with. Now, Faith brings up Atomic Betty because I have her on my favorite page folder. However, she does have a adult version of herself. This comes from a time traveling episode where she meets a adult version of herself. Now, this next one is not as heavy, but it still frightens me. I am talking about, of course, Faith looking through my comment history and finding this comment. Now, the reason being, I have no idea she has access to my comment history. Now, as for the comment itself, I just made a little joke and tried to explain it, but you basically see why she addressed it. Because A, I said the H word, and B, this comment would be taken out of context. So this next and pretty much the last one is very confusing for me, mostly because of what Faith said in this part of the voice message.
You like Skyfly, a teenager, 17-year-old, getting for a tentacle art situation, especially with the 12-year-old on this art. Also, don't get me started on that. My friend pointed out that it was official R-word.
Now, what's pretty much confusing is what she was talking about from the beginning. My best guess is that she was referring to Starfire and has some official artwork of tentacles. I look around the favorite page, and the only one I can find that based on that description was this screenshot, and I don't see anything too uncomfortable with it, and plus it's not even a NSFW. But I think that's all I have to say here. Let's just skip to the end already. Now, I'm skipping ahead to the last part of the voice message since this is the main reason why I'm making this video.
I'm not going to forgive you after you like that. I'm not going to forgive you what you sent to my woman best friends. I am not going to forgive you for what you liked. If you ever come back interacting with my friends again, or try to interact with, I don't know, someone else, when it comes to me, don't interact with me, my friends, or anybody else ever again. Unfollow me on any social media, or else I'll block you. Literally. I won't spread this crap to public because of that. Do you want to play safe? Huh? Do you want to play safe after? You know. I'm done. I'm literally done. I am this mad on you. Leave me alone. Leave us women alone. Goodbye.
Now, the first thing I want to start with is that I did contact her friends, but it was mainly because of the Google document that I made not too long ago. But sadly, that didn't work as much as I hoped, because nobody seemed to care about reading the Google document, and when I tried to upload it onto some DMs, I get blocked not too long after. Another reason being Faith is telling me to keep myself silent, so this won't happen. But I just can't help but think back of the good old days of me just chatting with Faith and her friends. I just can't hide this guilt of what I've done, so this is the reason why I'm making this video. It's mainly due because it's all my fault, and I had to take accountability and responsibility of my actions. And speaking of what I've done is the only way to do so. And all I had to say from all of this is I am deeply and very sorry from what I've done and from what I've been keeping from all this time. To Faith and her friends, I am sorry for keeping this secret from you all. To the viewers, I'm sorry that you're hearing about this, but this was the only way to go. So, what's gonna happen moving forward? Well, I did manage to get rid of all the NSFW, Well, there are some of them, but I pretty much put in guidelines just for me. The stuff that I have must be censored or chopped off. Don't need to be too seductive. And finally, it doesn't include any minors. But that's nothing compared to the biggest one I will announce, and is that I'm officially taking a retirement off from the internet. And yes, you heard that correctly. When I upload this video, I will no longer be active on YouTube, Blue Sky, and especially on DeviantArt. It's going to be a while until I return whenever I feel like it. But I do know when I upload this video, I will get backlash. But hey, if Faith wants me gone, then I'll be doing just that. And that's all I have to say in this video, in this whole mess. Thank you all so much for watching, and until I come back, take care.